You've been told your whole life to manage your emotions, control them, tone them down, calm yourself, keep it together. Like your emotions are some unruly children in the middle of a store and your job is to keep them quiet enough so nobody notices the mess. What if though? What if your emotions aren't the problem? What if they're the message? What if the fear, that tightness in your chest, the anger, the heat in your face, the disgust that drops in your stomach, or the sadness that rises and clenches into your throat? What if that's not weakness? What if it's data? Take a walk with me. Last episode, we talked about the nervous system, the hallway monitor, the part of you that asks, is it safe for me to be here? Before that, we talked about the mind, the driver of your car, the interpreter, the part of you that takes the raw experience and turns it into a story. So if the nervous system is the hallway monitor, then emotions are the alarms. They're the bells ringing in the hall. They tell the monitor where the energy is surging, where you may be trying to sneak out of the classroom. They tell the system what is asking for attention. If you want another way to see it, emotions are the gauge on the dashboard of the car, the mind. The alerts and warnings are not there to ruin the drive. They're there to tell you how the system is actually running and when something needs attention. They aren't good and they aren't bad. They are information. For as long as I can remember, I was ruled by a deeper stage of anger, rage. To be truthful, there's still days when I realize the hot coals of rage are still in there and that there's still work to be done. But I've come a long way from the days of responding to escalation with 0 to 100 mentality that often resulted in violence. I had to ask myself, why was this always happening? And the truth was uncomfortable. It happened because I taught myself how to hide my emotions behind a smile. I didn't know how to speak my annoyance. I didn't know how to say, that doesn't work for me. I don't like that. That crossed the line. So instead, I'd say, it's all good, while the coals got hotter. I'd say, hey, it's not a problem, man, while the pressure kept building, until I became a ticking time bomb. And when I finally went off, everyone in the blast radius paid for it. The aftermath was brutal, for actions performed in rage often left everyone shocked, disoriented, in disbelief, broken trust, and another link in the chain of shame and guilt that was already so heavy, but mine still to carry. I had areas in my life I needed to come to terms with. One of those was, I had a boundary problem. My people-pleasing tendency was giving everybody else a pass, so I could avoid friction. Oh, I lost you, and I'm coming back. Yeah, but my biology was keeping receipts. My rage wasn't evil, it was an alarm. A high voltage signal telling me my boundaries were being violated for too long, and I was too afraid to speak up. I didn't need to fix the rage. I needed to read, understand, and interpret the data so that I'm able to respond before another is created. Most people don't know how to read the emotions. Sorry, I'm still going through what just happened. They only know how to judge it. The moment fear shows up, they call it cowardice. The moment sadness shows up, they call it weakness. The moment anger shows up, they call it toxic. When enough judgment piles up and you are overwhelmed by the weight of it all and you react, They call it broken. So the signal gets buried inside, because buried becomes the only safe place to hide. Here's the dilemma. When you treat emotion like the enemy, you stop listening. You rush to shut it down, numb it, rationalize it, outwork it, spiritualize your way around it. However, an emotion you refuse to listen to doesn't disappear. It leaks. It leaks into your body. It shows up as tension, tightness, fatigue, chronic pain. It leaks into your relationships. It shows up in your tone, your defensiveness, your distance. It leaks into your dreams. It shows up in the life you keep saying you want, but somehow never fully enter. Because what is unprocessed does not stay still. It always finds a way out. Here's how I see it. Emotion is high voltage information. It is energy moving through the body, carrying a message. That voltage is real. That surge in your chest, real. That heat in your face, real. That drop in your stomach, real. What is often distorted is the story you attach to it. Your body sends a surge, nervous system. The amygdala and your sense of emotions comes up, and then your mind, trying to be helpful, grabs a label. Danger, embarrassment, rejection, failure. If your system has felt that same surge before, in a painful moment your mind reaches for the old script before you even have time to think. That's how growth can get mislabeled as threat. That's how the tension of expansion gets mislabeled as a system breach. Same current, different interpretation, and that interpretation changes everything. So how does this whole system interlink together? Identity decides what kind of emotions feels allowed. The mind decides what the emotion means. The nervous system decides whether the intensity feels safe. And those emotions, they reveal the relationship between all three. They show you where your wiring is too thin or frayed to hold the current of the life you say you want. That's why emotions matter so much. They're not random interruptions. They're live feedback. They tell you what your system can hold, what it avoids, what it fears, and what it still does not trust. So the move is not to shut off the electricity. The move is to upgrade the wiring. The goal is to shift the idea of controlling your emotions to the healthy expression of all of them. You're trying to become capable. Your power is not measured by how little you feel. It is measured by how much truth you can stay present with without abandoning yourself or blowing up the room. That's capacity. That's growth. That's what makes transformation real. The question: what emotion keeps showing up in your life that you're still treating like a defect instead of a message? Is your fear telling you you're in danger? Or is it telling you you're standing at the edge of your comfort zone? Is your anger trying to destroy something? Or is it revealing where you've allowed yourself to become continuously violated and overrun? Is your sadness trying to bury you? Or is it asking you to stop pretending? Stop pretending you aren't carrying grief. The emotion you're trying hardest to silence is usually the one holding the clearest truth. Walk with that. Because that truth might tell you more than your goals ever have. Here's your exercise for this walk. The next time an emotion rises, don't ask, how do I get rid of this? Ask, what is this trying to show me? Then do these 4 things. Number 1, locate it. Where is the voltage in your body? Chest, the throat, the gut, the jaw. Name the energy, not the story, not the explanation, just the feeling. Anger, sadness, happy, surprised, fear. Number 3, separate the signal from the script. What is the physical sensation? What story is my mind trying to wrap around it? Number 4, ask the better questions. What is it that I need to say, do, or decide that I'm hesitating to? Why am I hesitating? Is this a stop sign? Or is this simply more energy than my system is used to holding? Don't rush to answer it perfectly. Just stay with it long enough to hear what it's saying. The moment you stop treating the alarm like the enemy, your map to where you want to go becomes clearer. I challenge you to stop forcing yourself to be calm just so you can stay safe. Start becoming capable enough to stay present with what's real. Emotions are not flaws in the system. They are markers on your map. And when you learn how to read them, they stop feeling like chaos and start becoming direction. If this resonated with you, stay with me and let's keep walking together. My name is Gio, and as always, thank you for the company.